We got married August 21st, 2004, and we've known each other for 4 months, maybe prior to that. It moved very quickly. We spent a lot of time, like every day together, and it was one of those things when we knew, and we fell in love quickly. We were excited about our future. We met at Harvest Family Church, and I was on staff at the time, and Mark was an usher, and our love story just kind of started there. When Noah was diagnosed, we didn't see it coming. When he was born in 2005, after 5 months of being married, we found out we were pregnant, and we had all these plans and dreams, as any new parents would for him. We were sitting down in front of the doctor, the developmental pediatrician in Toronto, and she broke the news to us after 2 days of testing. She told us that he has autism, and she looked at us straight in our face and said, "He doesn't love you. He's never gonna have any emotion toward you. You're like a piece of furniture." Corbin was about 3 years later. Corbin was born. At that time, in the meantime, we had Noah when he was diagnosed. Shortly after, we found out we were pregnant with Corbin, and we had hope again. We saw some signs that we saw in Noah. He wasn't talking, he wasn't responding, he was doing the same types of autistic behaviors like stimming and all of that. We did take him to a developmental pediatrician, and they told us the news again, that he was autistic as well.
I think initially with the problem that I had was, where do we go from here? Like, what can we do to support these children? And the emotions were somewhat of sadness and guilt, and what did I do wrong, and fear for not knowing exactly where our path was headed.
We didn't deal with the core issues of our relationship. We swept them under the rug. We had a lot of issues unresolved in the beginning, and I think it got to the point pretty early on in our marriage where we were drifting apart. At this point, for me, it was like, why should I even reach out to God? I haven't been seeking Him for my family or for my life. Why would He help me? And I felt stuck in this marriage, but I had nowhere else to go. Where am I going to go with 2 special needs children? Where am I going to go? And what are people going to think? And then Landon was born in 2009, and it just, I think after Landon was born and everything we're going through, even financially, and just the stress of our relationship, it just got to the point where we couldn't hide it anymore. And I mean, we would throw divorce around all the time, but just the reality of it was too much. And so we just stayed together, and we started noticing, and I started noticing it was affecting our home and our kids. And things started to change. After about 5 months, I did move back home, and things were good. Things were progressing. We were changing. Our goal was not to even fall in love. Our goal was to be friends. And we had to start small. We had to build that foundation, and we had to make sure that our center was Christ. And it was working. We were building our family. It was slowly coming together. And but when we started getting comfortable things started falling apart again. But at that point, I was so determined. I said, we are not going back there. I'm not going to be a single mom. I'm not going to be lonely anymore. I'm going to do my part. And I made a decision that every day I would pray for my husband, not for him to change, but I would pray for me, that God would consume my heart with love. That was my prayer, that my heart would be consumed with love for my husband. And I'm sitting here almost 10 years later saying that I love this man so much, and I don't know where it's coming from. I mean, I know, but I don't know. Like, my heart is so consumed with love for him. We are working as a team. We're friends. We're spending time together, where for 9 years I would be in one end of the house, he would be in another, and now we're playing Scrabble together when the kids go to bed. And I mean, are building our friendship and our love, and there's no more loneliness, there's no more darkness. It's a bright future, and that shame and that guilt is gone. And I'm so grateful for the people that God put in our lives. I'm so grateful for the church and for people not giving up on us.
I think the turning point for me in our marriage was when I decided that I couldn't be accusing Sandra of not loving me and turning the focus inward and doing everything that I could to show her that I loved her and I treasured her and valued her and esteemed her. And I think when the focus was placed on myself, that's when my heart began to change. And in praying in my own devotional time and just even through study of the Bible, scriptures would come up about loving your wife, not just with words, but with actions. And I think when I applied those principles from the Bible to my own life, and instead of worrying about what Sandra was doing and what she was thinking and feeling, I consumed myself with focusing on myself and changing me rather than trying to change her. But I feel that we've made a good recovery from where we were at one time. Now we're starting to work as a team. We're not taking things that each other says to heart. We're working together, and we're more loving and patient with each other and working as a team, which is good for our relationship, but it's also good for the children because we're not arguing and fighting and disagreeing all the time in front of the kids, which the kids deserve a house that's peaceful and quiet, and we're all on the same page and moving together forward.
The first time that I heard Noah call me Mom, I mean, I just wanted to call everybody I know and let them know. It was a feeling of, okay, he knows who I am. Being told when he was diagnosed that he will never love us. He doesn't know, we're not his parents. Like, to him, we're nobody. For him to call me Mom or Mommy, it just solidified, okay, there is something here. There's a future, there's hope for me as a mom, that my child does know that I love him and that I'm taking care of him and that I mean something to him. For him to know that I am Mom and nobody else is huge, and I thank God for that every day. And I don't take it for granted. You hear, I mean, it's such a simple thing. People call Mommy, Mama, Mom, like kids calling their parents, and it's, you just what, but to me, it means the world. We're finding joy in the future that we see developing ahead of us, and the kids and their accomplishments. We're noticing that we're able to resolve differences, because we still we disagree, as any married couple would, any relationship. You're not perfect, you're learning every day, but we find joy in when we realize, hey, we're not where we were. That's where our joy. We're moving forward. We're rebuilding our relationship with God. God's bringing us joy. And I find when we decide we're not going to let this, we're not going backwards, we're going forwards, and we have this conversation every day, we're going forwards, that brings us so much joy. And our families and our friends and the people we surround ourselves with is what brings us joy in our lives today.